Azila had watched the security footage 47 times, and her hands still trembled when she reached the moment that shattered 3 centuries of neurological science. Frame 2847, the military-grade observation drone detached from its mounting bracket. According to YouTube analytics, 98% of viewers are not subscribed. That's a huge number. By subscribing the channel that is completely free, Frame 248, the human test subject, Emma Johnson, 26 years old, grocery store cashier from Earth, glanced up. Frame 2849, the drone was in her hand. The timestamp between frames 2 and 3 read 03 seconds. Earth reflex anomaly flashed red across every scanner in the Galactic Neural Research Facility. The words pulsed like an accusation, like a threat, like a fundamental violation of everything Azila thought she understood about biology. "Run it again," Kyldra whispered beside her, staring at the frozen image of Emma holding the drone in her left hand, coffee cup steady in her right, not a drop spilled. Azila's communication tablet vibrated for the 12th time in the past hour. 12 messages from the Galactic Science Council, 12 increasingly panicked demands for explanation. The last one had been marked, Priority Supreme. Explain immediately or suspend all human integration protocols. Our fastest military pilots clock reflex responses at 0.089 seconds, Azila said, her voice hollow. The theoretical biological minimum for neural transmission is 0.45 seconds. That's physics. That's neuroscience. That's impossible, Kyldra finished. I know. I checked the equipment 17 times. Every scanner confirms it. Emma Johnson's reaction time from visual stimulus to completed motor response was 0.03 seconds. That's faster than the speed of thought. Yes. They stared at the screen. Emma had been sitting in the testing chair, answering baseline cognitive questions for what was supposed to be a routine evaluation. Standard procedure for human integration into galactic society. Check their cognitive functions, establish normal parameters, file the paperwork, move on. They'd done 800 of these evaluations in the past month. Then the mounting bracket failed. A safety protocol malfunction that should never have happened. But did. The observation drone, 3 kilograms of sensitive scanning equipment and sharp metal edges, fell directly toward Emma's head from 4 meters up. By every calculation Azila had run, Emma should have been injured. The fall was too sudden, the angle too steep, the human reaction time too slow based on every other species' baseline data. Emma had caught it one-handed, casually, without even setting down her coffee. Director Azila, the intercom crackled to life. The council requires immediate response. They're threatening to classify humans as Class 7 biological anomalies pending investigation. Class 7, that meant quarantine. That meant suspension of all integration efforts. That meant declaring humanity too unpredictable for galactic society. Tell them I'm preparing my report, Azila managed. She pulled up the data stream. Every biological scanner in the facility had registered the catch. Neural activity monitors, motion trackers, electromagnetic field sensors, gravitational displacement readers, everything they had pointed at Emma Johnson at the moment the drone fell. Every single one flagged the response as physically impossible. But it had happened. The drone was intact. Emma was unharmed. The footage was real. "Bring her in," Azila said quietly. "I need to ask her directly." Emma Johnson sat across from Azila 5 minutes later, looking confused and concerned in the way humans did when they thought they'd done something wrong. "Am I in trouble?" Emma asked. "Because I can pay for the drone if I broke it when I caught it. I didn't mean to grab it so hard. It was just reflex." "You're not in trouble," Azila interrupted. "I need you to explain exactly what happened." "From your perspective." Emma blinked. "The thing fell, so I caught it." She paused. "Was I not supposed to catch it? Should I have let it hit me? That seemed like a bad idea since it looked kind of sharp." Kyldra made a strangled sound beside Azila. "Emma," Azila said carefully, Our measurements indicate you responded to the falling drone in 0.03 seconds. Do you understand how fast that is? Fast? Emma offered uncertainly. Our fastest military pilots respond in 0.89 seconds. The theoretical minimum biological response time is 0.045 seconds. You moved 30 times faster than that minimum. Emma's confusion deepened. I mean, it was falling right at my head. Of course, I caught it fast. Humans cannot move that fast, Azila said, hearing the desperation in her own voice. Nothing with organic neural pathways can move that fast. The electrical signals in your nervous system cannot physically transmit information at that speed. Okay, but Emma gestured vaguely at herself. I did though, so maybe your numbers are wrong. Azila's tablet vibrated again. She glanced down at the notification and felt her respiratory system constrict. 23 other human test facilities. 23 separate incidents in the past week. Humans catching dropped equipment. Humans dodging accidental collisions. Humans reacting to stimuli with response times that broke every known law of neuroscience. 23. Earth reflex anomaly reports. All flagged, all impossible, all real. Emma, Azila said slowly, do humans catch falling objects frequently? I mean, yeah? Emma laughed a little. All the time. You know, if you drop your keys or someone tosses you something or a kid throws a ball. She stopped, looking at Azila's expression. Do you guys not catch stuff? Not at the speeds you do. How do you play sports? Azila didn't have an answer. Her tablet exploded with notifications. Emergency council session called. All human integration suspended effective immediately pending neurological investigation. Emma Johnson and all human test subjects to remain in facility. Quarantine until biological anomaly explained. Am I in trouble? Emma asked again, quieter this time. Azila looked at the young human woman who had just casually rewritten the laws of biology by catching a falling drone. No, she said, but I think we might be. We'll start simple, Azila said, pulling up the standard reflex testing protocol on her display. Just basic response evaluations. Emma nodded, sipping her coffee. They'd given her a fresh cup after the quarantine order came through. It seemed like the least they could do. The first test was visual tracking. A line of text scrolled across the screen at progressively faster speeds. Subjects were supposed to read as much as they could before neural processing overloaded and the words became blur. Azila started at standard speed. Emma read the passage easily. She increased to twice standard. Emma kept reading, looking bored. 4 times standard. Emma yawned. Azila pushed it to 8 times standard, the speed that caused neural burnout in most species, where the optical nerves literally couldn't transmit information fast enough to form coherent images. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog, then stops for lunch at a cafe where it orders a sandwich, Emma recited. Is this going to get harder? Because I'm kind of used to reading ingredient labels while customers yell at me about expired coupons. The testing equipment flagged the result. Equipment malfunction, impossible processing speed. That's not a malfunction, Kyldra breathed, checking the calibrations for the 3rd time. She actually read it. Azila moved to the threat response simulation, standard military training protocol. Random stimuli, lights, sounds, visual alerts, deployed without pattern. Subjects had to react by pressing the corresponding button. Average response time across all galactic species, 178 seconds. The first stimulus fired. A red light in Emma's peripheral vision. Emma hit the button before the light finished illuminating. False start, Azila muttered, resetting. Ready? Green light, upper left quadrant. Emma pressed the button 0.604 seconds after activation, before Azila's own eyes had fully registered the stimulus. Audio tone, low frequency. Emma responded in 0.003 seconds. Visual pattern, complex geometric shape requiring identification. Emma hit the correct button in 0.006 seconds. Emma said, is the machine broken? Because I feel like I'm going really slow. I'm not usually this sluggish before I've finished my coffee. The equipment screamed equipment malfunction across every readout. It's not broken, Azila whispered. You're reacting faster than our equipment can properly measure. Don't you guys catch stuff? Emma asked again, genuine confusion on her face. Like, how do you play sports, or drive, or cook? I had 3 pans going this morning and my cat knocked over a glass and I caught it mid-breakfast while flipping an egg. That's just Tuesday? To demonstrate, Emma plucked a stylus off the desk and tossed it in the air. Caught it. Tossed 2 styluses, caught both, found a data pad, added it to the rotation, juggling 3 objects while continuing to talk. I'm not even good at this. My brother played college baseball. He could track a 90-mile-per-hour fastball and hit it. Now his reflexes are crazy. He can catch stuff behind his back without looking. Kaeldra made a sound like something dying. Get Vexthul, Azila said. Now. Vexthul arrived within the hour, summoned from the Galactic Military Academy where he trained elite pilots. He was the foremost expert in motor function optimization and neural response conditioning across 17 species. He watched Emma catch a falling data pad one-handed while discussing her grocery store's new scheduling system. His crest went pale. Run the combat simulation, he said, voice tight. They loaded the military-grade response program. Random threats from multiple angles, projectiles, obstacles, audio alerts, the kind of training that took pilots years to master, where even the best achieved 60% successful response rates. Emma dodged, caught, blocked, and identified every single stimulus while asking if they had any snacks because she'd skipped lunch. Success rate, 98.7%. Response time, average 0.05 seconds. That's impossible, Vexthul said flatly. Our elite forces train for 4 years to achieve 40% of that capability. How do humans play sports? Emma asked for the 3rd time, sounding genuinely worried now. Because I'm starting to think you guys might not have sports, and that's really sad. We have sports, Vexthul said. They're strategic, turn-based, slow enough that neural processing can keep up. He stared at Emma. What are human sports like? Well, there's baseball. You hit a small ball traveling 90 miles per hour with a wooden stick while it's curving through the air. Basketball, you track 5 other players and a bouncing ball while running. Soccer, same but with your feet. Hockey's like soccer but on ice with sticks and people trying to knock you over. Tennis, you hit a ball back and forth getting progressively faster until someone misses. Football, she stopped. Oh God, you guys can't do any of those, can you? Humans do these activities, recreationally, Kaeldra asked faintly. Yeah, for fun. Kids play them in school. I wasn't even athletic. I was in band. The athletes were way more coordinated. Azila's tablet lit up with incoming reports. Facility 7. Human subject caught falling equipment. Response time 0.004 seconds. Flagged as anomaly. Facility 12. Human avoided collision with equipment malfunction. Moved faster than safety systems could track. Facility 21. Human test subject asked why reflex tests were so slow and boring. 38 facilities now. 38 impossible humans. This isn't an anomaly, Vexthul said slowly, his entire worldview cracking in real time. This is their baseline. Every human moves like this. Like what? Emma asked. Like our best military operators after years of enhancement training and neural modification. He turned to Azila. Our understanding of neural speed limits. It might be species-specific, not universal law. How? Azila demanded. How did humans evolve with these capabilities? Emma shrugged. I don't know. Earth's kind of dangerous. Lots of things trying to kill you, I guess. You learn to catch stuff fast, or... She paused, noticing their expressions. Or you don't make it. The words hung in the air like a death sentence for their entire scientific paradigm. What else is trying to kill you on Earth? Kaeldra whispered. Emma's answer was going to break them even further. Jotaro swept into the facility 6 hours later with the kind of authority that made junior researchers scatter. Senior neuroscientist at the Galactic Medical Institute, author of the definitive text on cross-species neural architecture, 3 centuries of experience mapping brain function across 47 different species. He took one look at Emma's test results, and his composed expression cracked. "Prep the neural scanner," he said tersely. "Full, comprehensive mapping. I need to see what's actually happening in her brain." 20 minutes later, Emma lay in the scanning chamber, electrodes monitoring every neural pathway while she performed simple tasks. Catch this ball, read this text, respond to these stimuli. Jotaro watched the readouts in complete silence. "It's not possible," he finally said, voice hollow. "What's not possible?" Azila pressed. "What are you seeing?" "Parallel processing." Jotaro pulled up a comparison scan, his own brain beside Emma's. "Look, when I process visual information, the signal travels sequentially. Optical nerve, visual cortex, processing center, motor cortex, muscle response. One pathway, one direction. Linear." He highlighted Emma's scan. "She has 17 active pathways processing simultaneously. Her brain isn't waiting for signal A to finish before starting signal B. Everything fires at once. Visual processing, threat assessment, motor planning, spatial awareness, all happening in the same instant across multiple neural networks." "Sequential versus parallel," Vexthul breathed. "We've been measuring her like she's running one program at a time, but she's running dozens." "Humans aren't faster," Jotaro said, staring at the scans like they'd betrayed him. "They're processing entirely differently. Their neural architecture is fundamentally unlike anything we've documented." Kaldra pulled up Earth's evolutionary history, data they'd skimmed during initial integration assessments, but never truly analyzed. "Look at this. Humans evolved as persistence predators. They tracked prey across distances for days, literally ran animals to death through endurance." "That doesn't explain the reflexes," Azila started. "No, but look at the environment." Kaldra expanded the data. "Earth's threat index is catastrophic. Class 9 danger classification, barely below uninhabitable. Active volcanic systems, extreme weather patterns, tectonic instability causing earthquakes and tsunamis, thousands of venomous species, apex predators with significant advantages over human physical capabilities, microscopic organisms causing lethal diseases and—" She stopped, staring. "And other humans. They were their own primary predator." "Constant threat environment," Jotaro said slowly. "For millions of years." "Their neural architecture didn't develop for convenience," Vexthul realized. "It developed for survival. Instant threat assessment and response wasn't an advantage, it was a requirement." Azila felt something fundamental shifting in her understanding of biology. "We evolved in stable environments, controlled ecosystems. Our homeworlds were safe." "Humans had no such luxury," Jotaro confirmed, still scanning through Emma's neural patterns. "Every generation that couldn't react instantly to threats died. For millions of years, this isn't an anomaly. This is what survival pressure does to a species." They brought Emma out of the scanner. "So, what's the verdict?" she asked, accepting another cup of coffee from Kaldra. "Am I broken?" "No," Azila said carefully. "But we need to understand something. You mentioned Earth being dangerous. Can you elaborate?" Emma shrugged. "Yeah, Earth's kind of, everything wants to kill you." She said it so casually, like she was describing weather. "There's venomous snakes, spiders, jellyfish, fish, octopi, frogs, even some plants. Scorpions, mosquitoes carrying diseases. Predators, sharks, bears, big cats, crocodiles, wolves. Natural disasters constantly. Hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, floods, wildfires, tsunamis, volcanic eruptions. Microscopic stuff trying to kill you. Bacteria, viruses, parasites. The weather can kill you. Too hot, too cold, lightning strikes." She paused. Oh, and other humans. We're honestly pretty dangerous to each other. Wars and stuff. The research team stared at her in horror. And you just live there? Kaldra managed. I mean, yeah. You kind of learn to react fast or you don't make it. Emma demonstrated by catching the stylus that Azila had accidentally knocked off the desk, caught it without looking, without interrupting her sentence, while discussing her weekend plans. My friend Sarah and I are going hiking on Saturday. Should be nice if the weather holds. There's only been like 2 bear sightings on that trail this month. Bears? Vexthul's crest flared. You recreationally walk in areas with apex predators? I mean, they're usually more scared of us. We just make noise so we don't startle them. You guys don't have bears. Our homeworld's largest predator, Azila said faintly, is roughly the size of your hand and eats insects. Emma blinked. That's so safe. That sounds amazing. You guys must sleep so well. We're starting to understand why humans don't, Jotaro muttered. Azila's tablet erupted with emergency notifications. The Galactic Council had convened an emergency session. The implications were cascading through every system. Humans in traffic control, reacting faster than the safety systems could compensate for, potentially causing accidents because they moved before automated warnings deployed. Humans in security, response times that exceeded tactical equipment parameters, triggering false positives and malfunction alerts. Humans in medical emergency response, moving too quickly for monitoring systems designed around slower species, creating coordination failures. Every safe role they'd assigned humans suddenly looked dangerous in reverse. Not because humans were too slow, but because they were too fast for infrastructure designed around alien limitations. We have a problem, Azila said quietly, reading the council summons. We designed our entire integrated society around our neural limitations. Humans don't have those limitations. What does the council want? Vexthul asked. Azila looked at Emma, who was juggling 3 data pads while explaining why she needed to request next Thursday off for her grandmother's birthday. They want to know if humans are safe. Safe for whom? Jotaro asked. Because from what I'm seeing, they're the only ones who evolved for actual danger. The question hung there. What did it mean when the most primitive species had reflexes that made galactic military elites look slow? When grocery store cashiers moved faster than trained pilots? When surviving on Earth required capabilities that shattered every understanding of biological limits? Emma caught all 3 data pads with one hand. Sorry, she said. Was that too many at once? I can just hold them normally if the juggling is distracting. Azila closed her eyes. They weren't ready for this revelation. The galaxy wasn't ready. But ready or not, humanity had just rewritten the rules. Jotaro's comprehensive report took 3 hours to compile and 30 seconds to shatter the Council's emergency session. Humans demonstrate 3 to 4 times faster neural processing in specific evolutionary domains, he presented to the assembled council members, their holographic forms filling the chamber. Physical threat assessment, spatial awareness, motor control, predator-prey dynamics. These aren't anomalies. These are adaptations to surviving a Class 9 threat environment for approximately 2 million years. But their baseline cognition is standard, Counselor Zilax interjected. We've tested human intelligence, memory, reasoning, all within normal parameters. Correct. Humans aren't universally superior. They're specialized. Jotaro pulled up comparative data. Abstract mathematics? Standard. Philosophical reasoning? Standard. Long-term strategic planning? Slightly below average, actually. But physical threat? Response? Spatial tracking? Survival reflexes? They exceed our best military operators by factors we previously considered impossible. Azila stepped forward, adding her own findings. We've been reviewing incidents across all human integration points for the past 6 months. What we attributed to luck, or coincidence, was actually humans preventing accidents we literally couldn't see coming. She displayed the data, A human maintenance worker coincidentally moving equipment seconds before a structural failure. A human administrative assistant happening to catch a falling child in a public space. A human food service worker instinctively pulling someone back from a malfunctioning door. They weren't lucky, Azila continued. They were seeing and reacting to dangers we couldn't process fast enough to notice. Our neural architecture doesn't register those threats until it's too late. Theirs does it automatically. The council chamber fell silent. Emma Johnson caught that drone because her brain identified a projectile threat and responded before conscious thought. Vex Thule added, "It's not special for humans. It's baseline survival programming. Every human has it." "What you're saying," Counselor Lirana said slowly, "is that we've been trying to limit a protective capability?" "Yes," Jitaro confirmed. "We saw impossible reflexes and called them dangerous, but the data shows humans preventing harm, not causing it. They're reacting to threats our species literally cannot perceive in time." Kaeldra presented the final analysis. "Our infrastructure, traffic systems, safety protocols, emergency response networks is designed around our neural limitations. We accept a certain casualty rate because we can't react fast enough. Humans can. They've been compensating for our design flaws without us realizing it." "Recommendation?" Counselor Zilax asked. "Redesignate human capabilities from biological anomaly to specialized evolution," Jitaro stated firmly. "Specifically, high-threat environment adaptations. Stop trying to limit human reflexes. Instead, integrate them into our safety systems. Emergency response, crisis management, accident prevention, security, areas where their reaction capabilities provide genuine advantages." "You're suggesting we rely on them?" another counselor challenged. "I'm suggesting we acknowledge reality," Jitaro countered. "Humans aren't a threat to galactic safety. They're already protecting it, and we've been too slow to notice." The council deliberated for 17 minutes. The vote was unanimous. Azila returned to Emma with the decision, finding her teaching Kaeldra how to juggle with limited success. "You're cleared," Azila announced. "Full integration status approved. No restrictions." Emma caught all 3 practice orbs Kaeldra had fumbled. "So I'm not broken?" "No, you're adapted." Azila managed a smile. "Your reflexes aren't dangerous, Emma. They're protective. We were wrong to be afraid of them." "Does this mean I can go back to work?" Emma asked hopefully. "Because my manager's going to be really mad if I miss another shift." Across the galaxy, other facilities reached similar conclusions. 38 human test subjects cleared. 38 anomalies reclassified as high-threat evolution adaptations. The reports flooded in. Humans weren't outliers. They were consistently, remarkably adapted to danger. The Galactic Council issued the new classification within hours. Human reflexes officially recognized as specialized evolutionary advantage. New protocols established. Humans recommended for emergency response teams, crisis management positions, safety monitoring roles, and entertainment sectors requiring rapid physical coordination. "We're also considering human sports for entertainment," Counselor Lirana mentioned in the follow-up communication. "Apparently, watching humans play basketball is quite thrilling when you understand they're tracking multiple moving objects while running at high speeds." "It's really not that impressive," Emma said when Azila told her. "Literally, children do it." That statement somehow made it more impressive. Jitaro filed his final addendum to the report. "Humans don't recognize their capabilities as exceptional because for them, such capabilities were mandatory for species survival. What we call impossible reflexes, they call Tuesday." This perspective difference may be the most significant finding of all. They don't think they're special. They think Earth made them normal. Vexithul added a note to military training protocols. "Recommend all combat pilots review human reaction standards. Current elite performance sits at approximately 40% of baseline human capabilities. This is humbling." Emma finished her coffee, caught her jacket as it slid off the chair, and checked her phone. "So I can leave? My shift starts in 2 hours and I need to catch the transit." "You're free to go," Azila confirmed. Emma headed for the door, then paused. "Hey, thanks for not making this weird. I know the whole reflex thing freaked you guys out, but honestly, you're all super nice even when you're having scientific crises." She left. The door slid shut. "Did she just thank us?" Keldra said faintly, "for having an existential breakdown about her species rewriting neuroscience?" "Yes," Azila confirmed. "Humans are very strange." "No," Jotaro corrected, still staring at his data. "We're just very slow." Within 48 hours, protocols updated across every facility in the galaxy. Training programs launched, working effectively with human reaction speeds. Emergency response teams sent recruitment offers to humans currently working in retail, food service, and administrative positions. The Galactic Safety Commission requested human consultants to review accident prevention systems. Emma Johnson's test footage became required viewing in xenobiology courses, her casual one-handed drone catch analyzed in slow motion by researchers who still couldn't quite believe what they were seeing. "Congratulations," Keldra told Emma during her exit interview. "You're the poster example for human capabilities across 17 academic disciplines." "Cool," Emma said, checking her phone. "So, can I finish my grocery shift schedule? I'm supposed to work Tuesday and my manager already thinks I'm flaky because of all these tests." Azila stared at her. "You just rewrote 3 centuries of neuroscience and you want to go stock shelves?" "I mean, bills don't pay themselves," Emma grinned. "Besides, maybe I'll get Employee of the Month now." "Outstanding achievement in catching falling products." "I can put it on my resume." "You could have any emergency response position in the galaxy," Vexthul pointed out. "Yeah, but I like my job. Free coffee, decent co-workers, we get first pick of the expired bakery items." Emma stood, gathering her things. "Hey, at least now maybe you guys will believe me when I catch your dropped data pads instead of looking at me like I did something weird." She headed for the exit, paused. "Oh, and Jotaro, your stylus is about to fall out of your pocket." Jotaro looked down. The stylus tumbled free. Emma's hand shot out, caught it, handed it back without breaking stride. "See you around." The door closed behind her. "She knew before it fell," Jotaro whispered, staring at the stylus in his hand. "Threat prediction," Azila confirmed. Her brain calculated trajectory, weight distribution, and probability before the object moved. That's not even special for her. That's automatic. 3 star systems away, Counselor Zilax reviewed Earth's complete environmental assessment in the quiet of his private chamber. Class 9, threat classification, extreme weather, tectonic instability, thousands of venomous species, apex predators, microscopic killers, and humans called it home. Thrived there, built civilizations there, lived long enough to develop art, music, philosophy, and apparently very strong opinions about coffee. What other capabilities do they have? He muttered to himself, scrolling through human evolutionary history. What else did they develop that will classify as impossible until we see it? Enhanced endurance, exceptional temperature regulation, sophisticated sweat cooling systems, throwing accuracy unmatched in the animal kingdom, pattern recognition bordering on precognition, healing capabilities that included regenerating entire organ systems, all from surviving on a world that tried to kill them constantly. "Perhaps," Zilax said quietly to the empty room, "we should reconsider what we classify as extreme environments. If humans call Earth normal, what does that make the rest of the galaxy?" He closed the file and pulled up the integration reports. Humans were spreading across galactic society now, unaware that their normal was revolutionary. It would be fascinating to see what other impossibilities they considered mundane. Outside the facility, Emma caught her keys one-handed while juggling her bag and coffee, completely unaware that 3 researchers were still watching through the security feed, documenting every casual movement like it was a miracle. She checked her transit schedule, calculated the walking speed she'd need to make her connection, and headed off at a pace that would have exhausted most species. For Emma Johnson, grocery store cashier from Earth, it was just Tuesday. For the galaxy, it was the day they learned that impossible was a matter of perspective, and that humans had a very different perspective on what counted as normal. The end.